Hi everyone, today we are back with more of the Roottrees Are Dead, and today we're going to start with what was I left on a cliffhanger last episode. Apparently, one of the photos that I was given by that mysterious lady who came to the door was stolen from Carl Roottree's office. It says not long before they were set to return, this mysterious stranger who came to our door and said, "Hey, by the way, if anybody comes looking for the family," and is like, "Hey, I represent the family. I'm here to talk to you. If anybody comes to you and tells you that, don't tell them I said anything." So that person, right? It says not long before that person was set to return, you heard something odd on WRTD radio. The photo you were given may have been stolen from Carl's office. The newscaster mentioned you should search online for WRTD to find out more. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to Spider Search and we're going to look up WRTD News. WRTD is your local investigative jazz radio station. During their news segments at 45 minutes on the hour, they have been talking about the plane crash. This most recent hour, they also talked about a picture taken from Carl's office after the plane crash and promised an interview online with a psychologist. During the interview, it's revealed that there wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with a key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to the recent storm. This means it was likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. The psychologist, however, also goes on to posit the culprit had an alternate, oh my gosh, I can't speak today, agenda, specifically because nobody in the family has come forward to say that they have it in their possession. A comment below the article says, "Don't believe their lies. This is just another instance of the Roottree curse being a real true thing. I bet you Carl was murdered and the picture had evidence on it." I think there was some foul play, because I remember in the very first episode, they mentioned that there was a helicopter crash and they said that they blamed it on the weather, but then in the newspaper, it said that the weather was normal. So, but I am going to look up the Roottree curse. There's a long, rambly conspiracy website with a very small, very red text on the black background that says that the Roottrees are cursed. It has been very recently updated with the following. Carl and Brenda. Oh, that's right. That is the main couple. Important update with Carl and Brenda and their girls. That makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the Roottree company had died mysteriously. They say that Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver in 1982, but nobody was arrested. Then Ernie Madison Jr. stepped down. Was he poisoned? Now just this week, Carl died in a plane crash. Oh my gosh. Those are 2 of the... that's a big note, but I'm going to put in the miscellaneous notes. That is 2 of the presidents. Or some of the presidents, right? Miscellaneous. So we're looking for Guy and Ernie Madison Jr. We're 2 of the... So we have 4, right? We have the first guy, Elias, and then we have Guy, Ernie Madison Jr., and Carl, and Zach. So we know all 5, Zach Morden? We know all 5 of the presidents. So that's good. That's helpful. Now, just this week, Carl died in a plane crash. This cannot be a coincidence. There's another entry that claims that if you connect the dots in the pattern of the 5 pieces wrapper, it creates a Mayan ruby school. Should we look that up? A secret message. Oops. It's meant to subliminally scare people away. Let's put that in terms to look up, I suppose. Also, I forgot. We have to go here and look up all these guys. I should remove the ones. Oh yeah, these. I gotta remove some of these that I've already looked up. Like, let's remove that. I looked up the Clance Trust. I looked up... Maybe I didn't watch that. I didn't do these. The Free Spirits. Life Between Wars. I looked up that book. I didn't look up this or any of that. I looked up Starlit because we found that periodical. So these are the ones I need to look up. Okay. The post before that has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4 corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes. What? The author of this, what the heck does that mean? Wait, you begin to read the site and come to the conclusion that the words "no relevant results" isn't strong enough description for what you're seeing here. It's a massive column of technical terms that aren't real and confusing rants you can't find any meaning in, regardless of what will help your search. What the heck are you talking about? The author of the site seems to agree. An entry from a few months ago claims that the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff75 at prodigy.us asking him to take down a site with faked proof that Ernie Madison Jr. actually had a heart condition and wasn't poisoned. The owner claims that although the proof looks quite credible, he knows that the proof is fake because he's an expert at creating fake evidence. The first entry is from 1996 and has a blurry picture of the Root Tree Candy Company factory, seemingly taken from the website's author, from behind a fence and through some trees. It seemed that Operation RT-29 is real. I witnessed the helicopter land on February 29th, 1996. The website footer says all images and ideas owned by Thomas Overwood. Okay, so maybe this is something we should look into. Maybe Operation RT-29 for sure. And then Thomas Overwood. We definitely need to look into, but do we have a Chris? I wonder if there's a Chris Raff in our... No, Patricia. Chris Raff. There you go. Chris Rafferty. Wait. There's a Rafferty Clark. Rafferty. Who would be a Rafferty? Are there any more Raffertys? Rafferty LaRoe? That was Diamond's last name. Right? Where's Diamond? Where are you, Diamond? LaRoe. Diamond. What? Did y'all get married together? Is there another LaRoe? There is another. There's so many LaRoes. What on God's green earth is happening? Rafferty? Clark? Rafferty. So did he marry a LaRoe and then they had kids to Rafferty? Maybe this is, he married a LaRoe here and then had two Rafferty LaRoes? Chris Rafferty. Chris Rafferty, that's here. Chris Raff, 75. Asking to take down with faked proof that Ernie Madison Jr. actually had a heart condition. Alright, so someone in the family was like not wanting people to hear about it. Can I look this up? I wonder. Installing pixpox.exe. What on printing cousin scramble? What is this? Hold on, let's read. Oh my gosh. What is free photo editor? I have to zoom in and out. What on earth is this? Oh my gosh. Like, okay, there. I was like, we just have to find one that's correct and then we can find the rest of them. Oh, that was already right. Shoot. This is so funny. Who is this? This sound is annoying. Almost got her done though. Oops. Oh, you can undo it. Okay. Printing cousin portrait.jpg. Alright. Oh. Alright. I did not realize we were going to be doing stuff like this. This is fun. Wow. I love when games surprise you like this. Like, you don't expect something like this to come out of this game, but then they do. So these are I haven't seen any of the younger generations, or the newer generations yet. I've only really seen the first three, but there's all those other kids. Oh, that looks pretty right. Cousin school.jpg. Cousin sliced. What? Oh no. Oh no. Why would you do something like this? Why is this hard? Like, genuinely hard. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We have to, like, get him in there. Oh goodness. Like, down and then like that. Okay. And then we need... Where's that piece of his body? Here? That's probably this. Oh, they can rotate like that. So we gotta bring that slot down for me to put it in and then go back up. Yeah, and then this part of his body, I don't know. This is right here, I think. So then we have to bring this down, bring this over, bring this down. Oops. over, oh shoot, over and then up. Wow, this is interesting. And then this, oh, this comes down, over, up, and then back over. And then, oh, those are going to go up there. I see. How do I get that in there? Maybe I bring this out and then I bring this down and then over. Yeah. Then I bring this out and then down and then over, and then I gotta bring this over, and then this has gotta go up. Are these, hold on. Move these guys out of the way so I can bring this guy up, and then we can bring them all into the middle. So we've got this guy, cousin.swim JPEG. That's really, I wonder if more photos are going to be added to that later. So now I have a bunch of photos. But let's read this first. You find a simple page called The Art of Rafferty, copyright 1997, on Prodigy, that lists the author's email address as chrisraff75@prodigy.us. Is this... Should I look this up? Nope. Check for typos. Search for only one person or concept. Maybe like just The Art of Rafferty. Is this the same? We'll see. We'll read both just in case. Below a bunch of gifts that says under construction, there are a few art pieces. The first is a painting captioned, "Me and my fiance Lulu." You didn't spell that very well. A painting I did for my first year of college that I plan to give her. Maybe get married in May. Go Tartans. Okay. So let's write this. Maybe that's a term I have to look up. And then tartans? Maybe. And then let's go to people. Let's go to Chris Raff, because I know who that is. Chris Raff. He, fiance Lulu. I don't know. He's a photographer. I don't know if that helps. There's an odd collage called Cousins, which seems to be made up of 3 scrambled images. The accompanying artist's statement says, "We had to create a piece of art about our family. I asked as many of my extended family of cousins for their pictures as I could, even some I've never met. Only a few of them got back to me. And my teacher said I wasn't allowed to use pictures of Raina, Riley, or Rose, so I had to get creative and use only my 3rd cousins." You couldn't use the famous ones, right? That includes Davy, he swims for Yukon, and Bethany's yearbook photo. She's Davy's younger sister, and Stephanie, who is an only child. Chris's artwork has been added to your evidence, but the cousins photos will need to be unscrambled before you can use it. We've downloaded a new application, Pixpox, to edit the photos. Okay, so we need to go to notes. Davy. So is Chris Rafferty's 3rd cousin, also I can't spell, in swim photo. I think there's also a redhead, if that helps, probably. Bethany is also Chris Raff T's 3rd cousin and yearbook photo. And then we have Stephanie. Same thing. Chris Rafferty's 3rd, I spelled that wrong, it's fine. 3rd cousin, only child, other photo. What's the photo? Let's see, we have, this is probably the yearbook photo. And then, whoa. This is his art project said to include pictures of Davy, he swims for Yukon, Bethany's yearbook photo, and Davy and Stephanie, who's an only child. Perhaps you could extract them, right? I got that. So this is probably the yearbook photo. And then this is just another photo. So this is Stephanie, I'm assuming. I'm just gonna say photo with backpack. Yeah? That seems fine. Okay. So we have this photo of the one guy, the cousins. What about this? The art piece was found in the portfolio of college student Chris Rafferty. It was referenced to as self-portrait of me and my fiance. Sick? What does that mean? Lulu. Okay. So, probably one of these. Oh no. Chris Rafferty. Maybe, is there like a Lulu? Oops. Lucy maybe? Luisa? That's probably Lulu. That's probably her. Oh, Clark Rafferty. He had a kid and then probably this. Third cousins. I need to go back to this to figure... I honestly forgot my notebook. Third cousins could also sometimes be referred to as distant cousins, people that share the same great-great-grandparents but not the same grandparents. So like mom, grandma, great-grandma, great-great-grandma. So these ones, and they don't share the same grandparents. So like 4 generations down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like these guys are third cousins. Oh no, they're like the marriage ones. No, that's a kid. I don't know. Don't ask me questions about relatives. That'll come into play. Like, I need to remember all that. There's a lot. There's a lot. Chris Rafferty. Right. I mean... because I'm assuming... I'm not going to just put it, but... The Rafferty Rose, right? There's 2 of them that have the same last name, meaning they would be from this one. So meaning the LaRoe. One of these LaRoes is going to be here, but there's 2 LaRoes. You know? I have to find more of James Roottrees. Why are there 2 LaRoes? Unless she doesn't name her kids after him, but I think they would. How many more Roottrees do we even have? Oops. Quite a lot of them. Wolf, Tessa, Samantha, oh my gosh. Gwen, Elias, M, Edward, Clancy. Those are his kids. I just gotta figure out the order of them. Gotta figure out whose his dad was. Which one's James? Because they're, oh my gosh. I don't know. What other evidence can we look into? Can we get our hands on? Oh wait, I forgot to take these guys' pictures. Bang, bang. Boing. Okay. Let's go. Stephanie Jones. There's 11. Oh my gosh, hold on. Let's go actually to the terms that I wrote down when I was looking through that stuff. Oh. What? Oh, I didn't press save. Okay, because there's multiple Stephanies, right? Stephanie Catterall and Stephanie Landon. But there's a Stephanie Jones who gets married, right? So there's a Jones somewhere. There's 2 Jones. Brian Jones and Patricia Jones. There's so many. Okay, let's go then. Hold on. Yes, let's do what I was planning to do. Looking up the terms that I wrote down. All right, let's look up tartans. The tartans are the mascot of Carnegie Mellon University. It doesn't seem relevant. Okay, well, you can go away then. Me and my fiance Lulu. That was like the title of something. Nothing relevant, but I think I figured out Louisa. Right? Oh, I should probably write that down. Oh, I did right. Fiance Louisa. Probably Louisa. I think that's how I spelled it, but it's something similar to that. Louisa? I can't remember. I don't remember. Terms. Going back. Thomas Overwood. Thomas Overwood seems to have a few different sites about the mysterious deaths and curses. In addition to the Retreat Curse website, you also find one about the truth behind Spirit Cola, which claims that Spirit really stands for Satan's Plague as reported in 2000. And that in the year 2000, anyone who has drunk Spirit Cola will die. Another website is Stock Markets and the Devil Numbers, which claims that if you multiply any stock's price by 666, then also multiply the current year by that same stock's price, then add those 2 numbers together and divide the entire total by the stock price, and finally subtract the current year, you'll always end up with 666. But you can do that with any kind of thing. Okay, let's look up if this has anything to do with anything. Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. The truth behind Spirit Cola. Shoot. Nothing. This guy is just a dead end, I think. I don't know. Probably. We'll leave it here for now. Operation R229. This has got to be something good. You find more conspiracy websites. Some people out there claim that the Roottrees are changing the candy recipe to include more and more chemicals, and that this was done in cooperation with bad actors from an unknown government. Ooh, they claim that due to a loophole in the calendar, it is possible to get away with nearly any crime on a leap day so long as it isn't discovered until the day is over. And then every 4 years on a leap year, the Roottrees Company hosts a meeting with foreign agents to conspire to poison our children. Y'all, calm down. They're rich, but like, that seems a little too far. The proof is that Roottrees candies contain polyglycerol polyricinoleate, an ingredient of the candy that wasn't there when it first released. They claim it is added in an attempt to addict people and eventually induce mind control. The website claims to sell pills that counteract this effect for children and that have already eaten Roottrees candy in the past. You do an additional search for polyglycerol, yada yada yada, and it seems to be an emulsifier in chocolates approved by the FDA and widely used across many products. Oh, so it's totally normal. They're just freaking out. But, right. This doesn't help you. So that's just another dead end. What else should I look up? This doesn't seem like it'll help. Leapy. I don't know. I think that's all. That didn't lead to anything. I'm finding out more stuff. This had nothing to do with anything. Roottrees Candy Company Factory? I don't think it has anything to do with anything. No. Mayan Ruby School. Okay. You find a few conspiracy websites that claim that the Mayan ruby skull is a symbol of death. The alleged proof is a blurry photo of a reddish shade that is supposedly a cave painting from South America. According to legend, discoveries beneath the painting were bones from hundreds of different people and animals. One site also mentioned that the photographer who took the picture died when their boat capsized after crashing into a skull-shaped rock. Also, pause. I'm changing this song to something that's not so saxophone heavy. I like this one. Listen to that one. Amongst the spinning skull gifts, you find no sources or verifiable details to back up any photos or claims. To you, the blurry photo looks more like an egg than a skull. So just a little more. Maybe that's the Mayan red skull thing is a thing in real life, but that's just more lore for this world as well, I guess. Now, it didn't have anything to do with anything. Okay, the Roottrees versus RR. You find a few details about this particular incident with regards to the clan's trust. A student that attends a lecture about it wrote the following on a legal oddities website. From what you can tell, RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. It was said that RR attempted two arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock, and second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Ooh. Still, due to the ironclad wording of the clan's trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottrees without completely dissolving the trust. There's no additional information online. RR. Nothing. We have to figure out who that is. Okay, so they tried to remove somebody. There is somebody who was born out of wedlock, which is not that controversial at all for like you and me, for normal people. But for for this rich family who's all about money and inheritance, it was like the end of the world. They committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Okay, who has... Oops. RR. Rafferty, Clark, no. Candy, nope. Robert or Ronald. One of them tried to remove another. Catherine, Willie, Penelope, Tessa Green. Tessa, but that wouldn't be a Green. I got confused. Who is this Eloise? Why does she not have a last name? That might be the out of wedlock thing. But no, that's a girl though. You're done. I just gotta figure out two other people. These guys I gotta figure out. I don't know. This song is a vibe. So that, oh wait, hold on. We should probably go back and take notes on what I just read. Okay, RR attempted incessantly to, I'm gonna just take that whole thing as a note and put it in miscellaneous so I can read it later. Because I love that it tells you where, then you can click this and it immediately takes you to the page that you took that note from. I really like that, or the evidence, I guess, which is really cool. Okay, so we can remove this. Let's look up the 5-piece guarantee. The 5-piece guarantee, in combination with the Clance Trust, was Elias Roottree's attempt to ensure that the Roottree Candy Company would remain a family business for eternity. In isolation, it is somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of Roottree's president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. When the 5-piece guarantee went into effect, this was 25 cents a year. Now it's closer to $4. Huh? Combined with the Clance Trust, however, it makes a bit more sense. Elias wants to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president. Oh, and he knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits of the company, they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable and successful as possible. Whether or not this is a smart or successful decision is widely debated both online and in person by economics enthusiasts of all levels of expertise. This Elias guy does not sound like a very nice guy. Like, on one hand, that logic makes sense, but also that's like a lot. The free spirits. Nope. Right. Because that's just the second generation. Clergy Watch. Miracle Junior. Oh. Yeah, I already did that one. Miracle Network. No. I think I already read this one. Because they're talking about Miracle Retreat Jr., which is in your evidence. Yeah. We already did this one. What about What's Next? Nope. And then we already looked up that. So we've cleared out most of our terms. Let's go see if there's any evidence. See, I don't know. These people, I don't think this is enough for me to figure it out. Like, I know she was not born Stephanie Jones, right? She took his name, but I don't know where at all the Jones on the family tree are yet. And I also don't, there's 2 Stephanies, so I don't know which Stephanie is that. But also, this one has 11? 11? I don't know. Is there anybody, there's 10. How are there 10 clues for this one? Peter Jankowicz from MMM. Oh, we never really looked into their song. I never played their full song and read all this out. We should do that now. Okay, let's do that now. Rolling On Down to the City was barely a top 20 hit for a few weeks in 1979. According to the liner notes, it satirizes how a part of society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East. Ooh, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Oh. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of its play came from roller discos. So he was trying to do something good in the world. Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Maybe that's why you'd never heard of it before now. The image is from an auction from a sealed copy. It has a sticker that says, "Only the great-grandson of Elias Rootree can make disco this sweet." It's credited to Peter Jankowicz. Maybe I should look this up. What's MMM? Peter seemed to be a music critic. You find a mention on a fan website about bands related to the Roottrees. He used to work for Modern Music Monthly before the magazine went under. A magazine! Yes, new periodical. MMM is an abbreviation for Modern Music Monthly, a magazine from the 40s to the early 80s. It went out of business due to high competition for much more major publications. So if we go here, we should be able to look up James Roottree. Jim, maybe? Jim. A review and an interview from 1979 titled "A Reluctant Hitmaker, Jim Goes Into His First Band." Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were C and J plus J and D with my cousin and his ex. Yes, Diamond and Jane. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters, so the four of us had a sort of cutesy family band thing going on. I already figured this out. I was so smart that Clark was with LaRoe. So the 4 of us had some kind of cutesy family band thing going on, not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. Oh! That's why there's 2 more LaRose. Oof. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, but even then we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told Roland is like that, but that wasn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh, but I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started Raffer Tunes, and he's a much better jingle writer than songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottrees. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player. But I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Okay, so James's dad was in old ad campaigns? But not... I'm assuming it's not the Jones, right? I'm assuming it's not them. That helps. Okay, so I'm thinking that split up. This doesn't, I guess, say that they were married and then split up, right? Because there was one that was born out of wedlock. Someone said something about being born out of wedlock. Was that... Oh, these people? Because he had an affair with... There was LaRoe, right? Jane and Kim. He was with Jane and also with Kim, the little sister. And then they had 2 LaRoe Raffertys. So these are going to be all that. But we don't have these people yet. We don't know what order they're all in necessarily. What if we look up Diamond LaRoe in here? Oh, that's not how you spell her name. Also, that's not how you spell her name. No. Oh, gosh, if I know how to spell, maybe. In an article from 1968, you find a small section focusing on a young, upcoming talent that Modern Music Monthly predicts will make it big. It has this to say about the LaRoes. The LaRoe sisters got their start doing sessions work for the Great Uncle's record label. If you remember any songs from 1960 to 1965 that feature the voices of kids, they were probably involved. Back then, they were credited as the Lucky LaRoes. Now that he's passed, they've moved on to bigger and better venues and are going by their full names. Diamond and Jane have been touring with some famous faces, ever heard of the Roottrees, and are looking to release an album sometime the next year. Youngest Kim is about to step into a prominent role on Broadway, taking over for one of the children in Oliver. The Lucky LaRoes indeed. Okay, so I'm assuming he was with Jane first, and then got with the youngest sister, who was, what was her name? Kim. But is it in order of which kids you have first on the family tree, or not? Like, here, I would assume this would be Jane, and this would be Kim. Oh, it does say spouse. Did he marry both of them? And then he had the 2 with these 2 after that? I don't know. Let's keep going down that train of thought, though. Maybe we should take some notes. Or I guess we could look up Jane LaRoe. And then maybe the LaRoe sisters. That looks like the same, yeah. And then Kim LaRoe is probably the same. Yep, but maybe the LaRoe sisters? The Lucky LaRoes, actually. But that's probably the same. It's gonna be the same thing. Yeah. We don't have pictures of them. How do we find pictures of them? Maybe... Jane DeVelco was listed on Talent for Hire site as a wedding singer. Way down in the credentials section of her biography, it mentions she got her start as a young girl when she was Jane LaRoe of the Lucky LaRoes. It also mentions to only contact her agent in the event that you actually wish to hire her, and that any and all inquiries about her past or her sister would be ignored. Right, because her sister got with her ex, Jane DeVelcio. This is the same as a wedding singer. But that's like a fake name, unless she got remarried later. We don't have any photos of them yet. Right, because there's no DeVelcio in here. Deborah. I hear Deborah's name everywhere. Angelica, too. Angie. Zachariah Morton. Oh my gosh. There's so many. I don't know. How do I get their photos? But I should also probably put a note down here that James's dad was in ad campaigns. I don't know. Raffertunes. I could probably do that. Raffertunes. I forgot about that part. Nope. It wouldn't be in here. And it wouldn't be in here. Maybe we look it up in the spider search? Printing yes, a website about Raffertunes, Clark Rafferty LaRoe's advertising firm. On it, there's an about page, and you find a picture labeled the inspiration for the famous Super Bowl ad campaign. Below that is more detail. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children, and when his wife was trying to get his youngest, Katrina, there you go, to come down for the picture, he had the idea for the Roottrees Super Bowl ad. The photo is now in your evidence. Nice! That's great. They found this photo on the Raffertunes website. It was labeled the inspiration for the famous ad campaign. Clark was a department store. Okay, yes, right. His youngest, Katrina. Right, so that's a lot. We can go down here then, and we can look up Kim, which is this one. He is this guy. I forgot what he did. And then his youngest was... They say Katrina, and then the other one was Jessica. The youngest is this girl. The other one, I'm assuming that one's the youngest. Right, she looks younger. And then they are children. They're the youngest generation. And they're like, what was it? There's like a pre-K, or like a K through 8th or something. Student. Yes! Nice! Well done! Did I lock any optional ones? I hope so. 15 out of 50! Or 18 out of 50. Locked in the 5 pieces. Yay! Nice. Okay, cool. Nice. Booyah! Are you back? Oh, there's a phone call.
So, you may have heard the news. Some of Carl's things have gone missing.
Yeah, I wonder who stole them.
That includes the pictures and mail I brought you earlier. I promise I didn't steal it.
Yeah, you had permission?
But I did borrow it.
Right, sure.
I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I've officially confessed.
Wait, let me deal... Oh, she's a part of the relatives. Because I was thinking maybe, like, she was the person behind the curse and she was killing all these people. But she's a part of the family.
I'm a Roottrees.
Oh! That's cool.
I assure you I have a reasonable explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big the family doesn't approve of.
What? Dating someone outside your race? Because they apparently don't approve of that either.
If you could just wait a little bit longer, I'll tell you more. In person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
Dang, okay. That doesn't seem like a ton. I don't think. We have a lot of evidence to look into now. Instead of returning, the person who hired you called you on the phone. They claimed that they were a Roottrie. They also told you they'd give you more of an explanation the next time they returned. Whoa! Okay, Kim and Jane LaRoe. We don't have a picture of her yet, though. We have all these people. Did I not take a picture? Oh, there's because that's a boy. I was like, there's people missing. So that means the last LaRoe should go here, right? Oh, there is no other row. Maybe Rafferty? Is there another Rafferty? Chris Rafferty? That's the guy. Because there's no more LaRoes. So he named this kid after him. He didn't give them the LaRoe last name. Yeah. So they're talking about something about being born out of wedlock. But these all say spouse. Is there any ones that don't say spouse? And are just like partner? I don't know, I don't think so. But that is very nice, very useful, because we've got this family photo, I think is, oh right, we haven't locked him in yet. But oh, you can click, oh! That's cool. If you have a photo, you can if you put it on the map, you can go to where they are. Oh, that's cool. I'd figure out what he did for a living. Clark Rafferty? That might be in her revisiting the diary. There might be something about him in here. Like there's probably a lot of information in this one. Not as much anymore, I guess. I may have used other evidence to figure out some of that, because I feel like there's more before. They said as time goes on, your old evidence becomes less and less useful, right? Because you find, like I may find information on with different clues, which is really cool. Finding this photo, that was a showstopper. I can't believe this guy. Not only, he has 3 wives, just like, you know, to each their own, you do your whatever. But he got with one of them, and then got with another one, and then had 2 kids. Oh no, you suck. Chris Rafferty. Do you think the RR, who she tried to remove somebody from the family trust, do you think this is talking about this guy, that they weren't actually married when they had the baby? Probably. But now I guess that we know where Chris Rafferty is. We know he had 3 go back to this. Oh my gosh, I clicked the wrong buttons. He had 3 third cousins. So they share the same great grandparents, but different grandparents. So, you know, there's these ones could be it. Like all of these. There's a lot of different ones that could be it. What is this? Why are these different colored lines? You see that? Is this attached to this guy, Elias's firstborn? And then there's, or only child, and there's why is there like a big thing around this? That makes me think that has something to do with this over here. I don't know. But I think that's probably where we're going to end this video, because we've learned a lot. I mean, we're getting some yellow stuff done. We didn't really get a ton of new people done, but we did learn a lot of information that we're going to be able to use in future episodes. I feel like there's going to be a time where we're just going to start going crazy, and we're going to get a bunch of people just done and out of here. And it's also fun, I guess, on games like this to go slow and really consume the knowledge and like talk about my theories and like, I don't know. This is a scandal. That's a scandal. Wow. He should get kicked the heck out of the fam bam, because that's foul of him to do. But anyway, I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. I'm really excited to learn more information. If you guys liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.